Welcome back, witches. I'm Steph. I am the host of the Witch Wednesdays podcast, but today I am making a guardian ward. So I am taking a tip from one of Ivy's videos. She is here on YouTube, Ivy the Occultist. She's also been on the podcast, and I will link the video below so you can see exactly what I'm doing. But she set up a guardian ward for her house, and I just love the idea, so I am going to be doing that. Now, I have other wards on my house. Warding just keeps the negative energy out of my home. And Ivy's video specifically talks about a guardian ward to patrol the perimeter of your home. And I just love the idea of that. So like she talks about in that tutorial and shows, I'm going to be using a figurine to put my protection energy into. I'm going to be doing the timing, the protection correspondences, and show you exactly what I am going to be doing with that and why. So let's jump into this guardian ward. Here we are set up to make my first guardian ward. I'm actually going to do two. I'm going to do one for inside the house and one for outside of the house. And these are using figurines that I already owned. And I decided to go ahead and do these on a Saturday. I am more influenced by days of the week than any particular time of day or lunar phase, so I am just going with a Saturday because Saturdays are great for home and protection work for me. So to set up the space, I have a black pillar candle going here for me. That is a color correspondence for protection. And I've cleansed the space already and myself and all of my tools. And the first one I am going to do is this horse figurine that I have. And the reason that I am doing two of them is because I also have this bunny figurine. And I decided to do a combination of this guardian ward and asking my dad to protect our home. Because my dad passed away in 2020. My mom is still alive. And my dad I have always associated with horses, horse energy, because we had horses. Growing up, my whole life, he loved horses. And my mom has always been associated with rabbits because her nickname is Bunny. Her license plate is Bunny's. It's been her nickname since childhood. So most of her cousins don't even know what her actual name is. They think her name is really Bunny. So that is why I'm doing that. And I've always associated, my dad was the one that went to work. My mom stayed home with me. So I've always associated my dad with protective outside energy, take care of the perimeter, whereas my mom was the inside, gentler, protect inside of the home, make it a nice space. So I'm going with a couple of different correspondences for each one. And I will set them both up, inside my house, but then they can go off and do their work. So this first one I'm going to do is this horse here. I have the horse card here. This is from the Jessica Rue Woodland Wardens Oracle deck. I will link that below if you are interested, but I love this. It's one of my favorite ones. And it has a rabbit card as well. So I thought this was a nice way to focus and get some of that extra energy into the space. Since the horse figurine is so big, what I'm going to do is place all of my correspondences into this cauldron and then set the horse on top. As I'm doing this, I am centered, so I have grounded and pulled up the energy from the earth, centered it into my body, and then I send it out through my arms and hands into each of the ingredients. And all of the while, I'm specifically focused on protection and protection energy and what it is that I want this particular horse to be the guardian of. And that is the four corners, the perimeter of the outside of the house. I'm starting here with my protection sigil. This is the one I always use for protection, and it is from Buffy. So I'm going to fold that towards myself again, and place that in here. And then I'm going to add a couple of different herbs, and they are going to be associated with protection. As I'm adding these, I am putting my energy into them and thinking about protection the entire time. I'm also going to place some crystals to the sides to get that energy in there. This one is obsidian. And this one is star mica, which is associated with ancestor connection. So my horse is resting on top now, and I am allowing that energy to come up from all of those ingredients that I put in there into the figurine and further sending my energy for protection through my hands and into the horse. I also have a protection oil here from Earth and Alchemy. So I am just going to anoint the figure on the top here. I like to add the oil because that is an easy way then to refresh that. It is already associated with that protection oil. So when I feel like it maybe needs a little feeding, I can just do another drop of that oil on top. And now I am going to burn the sigil, and that will be activating this protection. Now that this is burned, I am going to take these ashes and this figurine and go outside and scatter those and show this figurine exactly what I would like it to protect, which just means walking the edges of my property and scattering the ashes and herbs as I go. For this, I used the sea salt, I used nettle, I used cloves, and I used juniper berries, which are all associated with protection, and particularly a heavy protection preventing things from getting in. Now I'm going to do the exact same thing, and I'm going to switch over and use this card instead to work with this figurine. And for this, I'm actually going to change the ingredients. The process would be exactly the same, but I am instead going to use ingredients that are for protection but are a little gentler and more for a calming, harmonious protection for inside the home. I am still going to use the sea salt and this protection oil to anoint that, but I am also going to use lavender, rosemary, and cinnamon chips. I am also going to switch out the star mica and instead use a peacock ore. So it really is fantastic that you can sort of make this your own, and then I can take this little guy and go around the inside of the house and scatter the ashes at the doorways. So at some point I will do a house tour and you will see these sitting in there. So I will update these as I see fit. It's going to depend, on what is happening, what the outside world is like, how many people I have in my home, to sort of see when that energy runs out. Am going to have to refresh them at some point. Nothing lasts forever, so I am going to have to put more energy into them, but I am just going to be feeding it rather than starting over from scratch and creating these all from new all over again. So that is all going to depend on how much energy is being sucked out of them in doing its protection job. That is everything that I have for this video. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you go check out Ivy's tutorial to get even more information, and let me know if you make a guardian ward for your house. I'll see you in the next one.